Saturday. It is a gray, ugly day here. Just ugly. And because of that, because of the day being so ugly, I just decided that it was best to not fertilize and do all of that. Wait a day, see if it's going to be any drier tomorrow. It's just too wet to do a lot of watering. Just rain. We're supposed to get 3 inches of rain this week, which is a lot of rain. Welcome everyone. Just kind of walking through to see what is going on. Hey Fernanda, hope you're having a good day, a good weekend, had a good week. These things are slowly but surely. My Digbianas, group of growths are still doing okay. Hey Todd. Hey everybody. Well, lucky you, we have nothing but gray. It's gray and rain. Like I was saying, we're getting about 3 inches before it's all said and done. But yeah, I just figured I'd come out here and check on things. I really hadn't been out here. I was out here earlier today. I need to replace this light finally. This will be my last fluorescence. So yeah, not much is really going on, honestly. There's things developing in the sheet still, but nothing new really. Got some things coming though that I do. Let me look up here for a second. Look at these cattleyas that are not so newly mounted. Oh, there is something good that I did notice, and that is this is my Angraecum sesquipedale, which everybody knows I got this at Hauserman that day. And I kind of predicted that the spikes would blast because it's just so difficult. But I noticed today that I'm probably going to get a flower because there was also a secondary bud on the spike, which I was not aware of, although I knew that it was possible. So it looks like that is going to develop. Yay! I'm not sure if that's going to happen on any of the other spikes. Can't really tell yet. Yeah, one is better than none, honestly. That actually might still develop. I don't know if there's a flower in there. And of course, with me just pressing on it, not really doing it any justice, not really helping it. So I guess it's still possible there's the other spike. Who knows? We shall see. But yeah, one is better than none. And, the fragrance is worth it. The plant is a nice plant. I'm going to have to think about getting it out of this media at some point and putting it in something else. Please quit calling me. So I'll think about that when the time comes. Yeah. So hopefully everyone is having a good weekend. Just kind of looking over things that are kind of overlooked. I've had this about a year now. Maybe about a year. And it's so small, it's really hard to see if there's anything developing on it. Any spikes. Yeah, I noticed. That's nice. I used to have acidensis. I love acidensis. Stanhopea. That's one of the hybrids that I do love. I did have a really big one that got infested with scale, and then that was the complete end of it. That was the end of it because the scale just got all over. Sorry about that. My family is calling me, and I'm sure they're just calling me on some nonsense. Probably they just got out of a movie and they want to tell me about it. I'm sure they are all excited about seeing, I think they all went to go see 1917, which I'll probably go see. But this is progressing really nice. Yeah, they do suck. They do suck. That looks like that's going to be a nice bloom pretty soon. It's already showing some of the color. Yeah, Stanhopeas are very nice, despite the space that they require. That is still going strong. I got that from Hauserman as well. It was one of those peasants that I just couldn't walk past. It actually has a name. Let's see. Fuller's Black Leopard. Yeah, it is really, really nice. It is really nice. It is definitely a stopper. Stops you in your tracks. Yeah, this is from my Hauserman hunt. It was at work, sitting on my desk. The flower's still going strong. Let me see. Looks like, yeah, the bud is still going up there. I did notice that on my, if I can get it, that is my Cattleya daffodil. And you can see there's a shadow down there at the bottom of the sheath. So that is filling up. And I'm sure some of these other, maybe there's a shell, there's a sheath in there. And there's another new growth, this one over here. Well, anyway. Those should also flower. They generally do. Pretty reliable. I really need to get out here and water. Flower spike's still growing there. But yeah, I've got a couple things that are coming. I found a really nice, hey Rez. I found a really nice Dendrobium unicum that I've been wanting. I see them all the time, but they're always little babies, and I want a nice size one. And the one that I found is coming from Hawaii, so pretty thrilled about that. Thanks for dropping by, Rez. Hopefully your weekend's going fine. And yeah, this is going to be a bust. That was my fault for not opening up the sheath. And the buds got trapped in there. These little bulba fell in it. All right, I guess I'm at. That was a brief. So, but yeah, I was talking about these little bulbophyllums that I got at Hauserman that day that were division. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. I have my Wi-Fi extender. It's just not wanting to work with me. Nothing can ever be so simple. But yeah, I saw these and I was just marveling over the fact that they were $15, the divisions. And here's the other one that I got, and they had several of them. You can't have them all, so I just picked two of them. Lo and behold, this week I see them on eBay, and they're going, of course, for $28, which was, well, hey, Tracy, I know where you are at. Tracy L. There's only one Tracy L. How's that plant going? Is it still going strong? Still putting out those growths? Should be in this weather. Should be getting a lot of humidity. So yeah, this is going to be nice. It's always nice when I can get an Ingracum to bloom. Yeah, it is special. As is, it's going to be dark down here, but oh well. My Eberna right here, still putting up. You can kind of see the nectary at the bottom, kind of peeking out, kind of unfurling down here. You can kind of see it. So pretty soon it'll begin to open up. I'll have to move it out of that area so I can see it, because it's tucked away there. I would never know that it's there. Never even know it's there. Got some buds over here on this encyclia back here, still developing. Yeah, I should be doing some watering, but because it's the temperatures are cooling down. It was, believe it or not, the last 2 days it's been in the it was close to 60 degrees, and but it was gray and it rained, which I don't mind. You know, it was warm, but it wasn't gray like this. And it's been raining for the last day or two. Oh yeah, I've killed a few Ingracums. They're easy to do. But as I've said before, I found when you can get them at blooming size, like this big, even a big kiki like this, but this still has to get to be, sorry, they're just not going to give up. But yeah, this is probably still a kiki. So this still has a lot of growing up to do. This is my longa calcar, so it is a bigger version of my Superbum that's down there, just another variety. So yeah, I think they're easier if you get them already blooming size. I think it's just hard to get them to grow up. Like this Ingracum, if I could get this to bloom, that would totally be a coup. I'll take it down and see what's going on with it anyway. This probably needs a drink, but it won't be happening today. This is my Germanianum that I'm so lucky to even have. Nat's convinced me that I could grow this. Just shade in the summer. Shade, sunny shade, I should say. Not full shade, but just some afternoon shade is more like it. And I was just like skeptical. But it seems to be doing okay. It's putting up some side shoots. I'm sure those are not flower spikes. I'm sure they're just side growths. And the roots are looking brown now, but when I water them, they green up. And it likes the spot where it's at. In the wintertime, it gets a little bit more light. Woo, gets a lot more light actually, because it sits right there and there's no shade cloth over that spot. So, and it gets afternoon, from mid-afternoon to the end. So tends to like that. For now, at least, it's doing okay. So yeah, there's a few things to look forward to. A lot of things I wish were doing better. I wish my ciliare, which has put up these growths, but the growths looks like they stalled. And there's another one over here. Looks like they stalled. It had fallen out of the pot when I brought it in from outside, but and I left it that way for a while, but then I decided to go ahead and fill it in with some bark on the sides, not too much, but yeah, so I really want that to do something, because I really want that plant to be a thriving, blooming plant. Ciliare, I need to have that plant blooming in my collection every year and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I need it. So, come on. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Still lots of nice roots on that. Encyclia, nice growths. Yeah, it is. See, I have another one that did well for a while. You see, it did well for a while, but then as it progressively got older, the growths got smaller, and these are all new growths. The roots aren't as nice as the one on the other one. Hey, Kathy. But yeah, these are all new growths. But you can see they might be blooming size, but they're not as big as they were when the plant was blooming, which is bothersome to me. My Laelia anceps is still looking really nice. Just dangling there. What else? I know I'm forgetting some stuff, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. I really need to water. But like I said, I can't water because it's so gray out, and it's supposed to snow tonight, if you can believe it. That was the completion of what I was saying. It was 59, 58 degrees all for the last 2 days. And then all of a sudden, tonight, it's going to get back down to freezing, and then it's going to probably snow, maybe snow a little bit. Who knows? And that's pretty much why I'm not going to water, because the temperature is just so screwy. So it's best to just, and especially since it's so gray out, it's best just not to do it. It's for the best. And I think I'm going to lose this for some reason. I thought I was not giving this any water. I don't know what happened to it. These growths were drying out. They were maturing, so I was kind of giving them drier conditions. So I don't know, maybe some of the mist, because I do miss this area, maybe that's what happened. But it just seemed like it happened overnight. But maybe the plant will still be okay. I don't know. That main bulb still looks okay, but we'll see. I'll have to keep my eye on that. And these, nothing really happening on that. Hey, Summer. So yeah. See, there's another sheath there. But what I'm really looking for is really thinking some of my paths should be doing something. They should be, because they really skipped a year on me. And that goes for my Spicerianum, that goes for my Henryanum, even this path over here, which is cross, Henryanum crossed with Heleni. This bloomed for me a couple years ago, and these are the spent spikes, but it had put up so many more new growths. But I don't see any blooms yet, or any bloom spikes. What else? That's probably about it that I can see. But yeah, I'm getting some stuff in. I found a uniflorum, and I also got, I got a uniflorum, and they also had a Dendrobium nemarale. And so I went ahead and got that as well, just to save on the shipping. So those should be here next week, and I'll have to share that with you guys. I'm really proud of this plant. This is my Path Charlesworthii, which bloomed here, and then it's put up several growths here on the other side, and I was just very, again, skeptical of that plant as far as me being able to grow it, but it seems to like where it's at, so I'm kind of happy. Cautiously happy. So yeah, but my Stanhopeias, especially this one, I'm hoping will do something eventually. Wow, that would be nice, Todd, if your Acidensis ever got to be a size where I could get a little piece of it, because I miss that. I do miss that plant. This is this plant, and it's got several. It never stops growing. This was an Equigenera plant, and I'm really expecting this to bloom as well. And I mean, you can just see these are new growths coming out over there, but I don't see anything. And I won't even bother to show this plant, because that's the plant that I broke the spike off of, so we know that that's shot for a minute. So when is Tamiami? Is that this weekend or is that next weekend? Because it's got to be next weekend. But it seemed like it's this weekend, because I know Maria is totally gearing up for it. Hey there, Ron. Thank you, because I look all over for Acidensis. I've been looking. Okay, next weekend. So what plants have you all pre-ordered? Because I know you guys are hardcore. What's your number one pre-order that you're looking forward to? Because I know, I can just imagine that there's everything that you could possibly want, except for I would love to have another Moats Purple Rain, but I can't afford it. That file. You mean this one? You can get this one at Hauserman every day of the year. They have it on. They'll send it to you, and I think it was $9.99. It might have been $12. I'm pretty sure they'll send it right to your house. Black Leopard. Fuller's. Wow. So Todd, you're going rogue. You're just going to walk through every exhibit? Or are you just going to hit a few? Because I just think when you have to have maps to go and find places, that just seems, it's almost like the Amazing Race. It's like you're racing to get the best plant. And there's 12 places that you want to get to that you know somebody is going to get there first. Well, okay. Well, I hope they have it reserved for you, because there's hardcore. It's hardcore. It's like going to Sam's, but it's all orchids, or Costco, from what I gather. But yeah, that can be had right now if you want it. Just checking some of these roots down here. Yeah, it's still going. That was a recent repot. That was Got that from Brazil imports, along with that little Prosthecia, my Vespa. So yeah, I'm glad I came out here. I really need to water. Tomorrow I hope that I can do it. I'm gonna have to regardless. This is a good Stanhopea hybrid up here as well. Uh, this is a good one. This is Tigrina Rogue Semi-Alba crossed with Tigrina Rogue Giant. And I mean, this is doing pretty well. It's not blooming size, but it is getting there. Totally getting there. It is getting there. That should be yellow or lime, maybe. Well, yeah, that would be hardcore. What is going on here? I don't like the looks of that. See, when you move things to try and give them more light, and then you all of a sudden notice that they don't like it so well. I mean, look how floppy that is. I'm just not going to touch it anymore. I'm just not going to touch it because I'm going to mess it up. Man. And that was another Angraecum. Well, an Angraecum cross. And this is another Angraecum up here, which I finally found the tag, which I had to move to this spot because it was too cold where it was at. I mean, you can see the leaves were browning. That's cold damage. And basically here's the tag. But this has primarily Magdaleni in it. So it's Cloud's Christmas Cradle, Angraecum Cloud's Christmas Cradle, which is Linford White Beauty, Linford White Beauty is that. And it's crossed with Magdaleni, which I don't have Magdaleni anymore. I used to. But I used to until last week, but I threw it away because it was dead. I do. So I think, let me finish this, but I grow my Magdalena cold, and that's what I thought why it bloomed for me every year. I would grow it down at that end of the greenhouse, and it would be in the window. Maybe it just got too cold this year, but so I had this one down there, but I need to move it back into more heat. But generally Magdalena grows cool in the winter. Less water. They can take it pretty dry in the winter. Here's my Ancestrochylis. Probably because I think a lot about, well, it's hard not to think about it because every day I see yours just so blooming so beautifully for weeks and weeks and weeks. So maybe mine just has not gone into dormancy yet. You know, I'm not sure. I am not sure. But yeah, these are my Ancestrochylis Rothschildianus. And this one I've been giving less water, even though now, I don't know. But when I water these, bloomerific, yeah, that's what I was trying to spit out there. But this, when I water this, the bulbs, even though they look brown right now, they green up. They look like they're dead now, but they look more alive when I water them. But this one I've been watering sparingly because this lost its leaves. It used to have leaves, but it lost its leaves. So I think this was in dormancy. Yeah, I probably do. I'll have to figure that out when I break down and repot these. It's going to be difficult. See, and there's green coming up there. So what is that? Would that be a flower spike? Yeah, because you can tell that that is still alive. So would that be my flower spike coming right there? Probably. See, this is why I need these little meetings with you all, because had I not come on here, had I not uh, had Todd not mentioned this, I would never have came over and picked it up. So yeah, so that's. But I think about these all the time because, like I was saying, I see Todd's every day, and every day there's another bloom on them. But I always also have to think that I don't have Florida conditions, and Florida, just in any tropical area, your plants are going to grow differently than mine. My plants get a true dormancy, maybe somewhat forced more than others, but be whatever it is. That's what it is. So I can't compare bloom cycles with other people's, not necessarily, even though the books say that it is a fall to winter bloomer. A lot of my things bloom later than other people's do. So, and I too have to keep myself from freaking out, when I either look on Facebook or on YouTube and I see, somebody who has a plant like mine, that theirs is totally in full bloom and mine is just sitting there. I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And then 2 or 3 months later, mine is in bloom and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, it is different environments. It is different environments. But I mean, you can see how it can play mental games with you, especially if you pay attention to other people's YouTube and, you're on Facebook and you're on Orchaholics Anonymous for one, and you're seeing everybody's plants and you have the same plants as other people's that are blooming, and you're just like, what the hell? Because, well, but yeah, so I don't know if or what is going to happen with this plant, but I mean, even in looking closer, no, maybe that's not it. Yeah, that's just there's nothing going on here, but there's definitely something going on there, and that could be. So yeah, that's why I say I need these, and there's more. No, that's just the media. Okay, so yeah, that's exciting. But yeah, I occasionally glance down there uh, because these are plants that I've had in the past that I have to be extra careful when I water them. This is another one that I have to be extra careful when I water. This is my Amiciella philippinense. And this is doing okay so far. But it's like I have to neglect it and occasionally just throw some water down here, mostly on the tray, and let it soak up from the bottom. Same with this. This is a Arangus, a little seedling. It's Modesta, that's what it is. But it's the same thing. I don't want to, I don't want to accidentally get any water in this part of the plant. So I am trying to only feed it from the bottom, if that makes any sense, if anything, until they get acclimated, until I start to see new growth. So, and same with this. This is sort of a little intermediate microclimate. It still gets some LED light that's going through a shelf down to there. It's got fans coming at it in every direction. So it's getting a lot of movement, but it's cooler here. The temperature right now, that's the humidity, 55, which I don't understand why it's 55 when it's raining, but the temperature here is 60, 65, 63, something like that. I guess that could be the humidity. because the temperature is cooling down, and but it's still pretty wet outside. I mean, you can see the water. So I didn't hear anybody say any. So nobody pre-ordered anything from Tamiami. Nobody's gonna get any plants. I just don't believe it. So you guys are just going, or maybe you guys aren't going to Tamiami. And why is that in my view? Thanks, Tracy. Thanks. I really appreciate it. I really do. I do, and I don't know what this. Well, anyway, it has been 35 minutes, and I'll probably come back tomorrow. I know I will. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a blessing that you don't have to add anything. You know, I have 1, 2, and then there's the one over there, and then there's one back there. So, and I have them running 24/7, 365 days a year. So, and I have to make sure that they get cold, get filled, make sure that they're filled. What the heck is going on with this thing? Okay, I'm just gonna take it off. All right, everybody. But I do appreciate you showing up. And I can't wait to get my new plants in so I can share it with you guys. And because both of these plants that I'm getting are in bloom. Well, they might not be when I get them because they're coming from Hawaii. Yeah, I got a lot of work. To do. I do. So yeah, everybody, it's been fun. And thanks again for helping me solve some of my orchid problems and find new orchid potentials. Man, this is beautiful. Yes, blooms do brighten up the day. We need it. Now, I'm almost starting to wonder if this is color break. I mean, you can see how it's not as solid as this one is. Can you see that right in there? But anyway, I don't even want to think about that right now because that's a beautiful plant that I would have to throw away. So everyone, have a good Saturday, the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace.